So speaking
of options,
there we go. Yeah.
Speaking of why we should have internet radar
there
heaters.
is a yeah. Okay, whatever that was.
Thank you for acknowledging that total rear end collision there.
So first off, this is what Vega looks like. I was searching it. So if you guys don't remember Street Fighter, there's Vega.
I got those pants.
I know you do. But the Model Y is going to be equipped with a radar heater to weatherproof autopilot and self-driving. I don't know what it's going to do for cameras, though. That's an interesting question. And related to this, so the heat pump also is going to exist, so that will, I guess, help the battery stay warmer or something. Tim, talk to me about when it's cold. I don't know what life is like below 40 degrees.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing that with snow is that it sticks to things, and obviously if it sticks to the front bumper where the actual radar is, then the radar goes bork, and all of a sudden you can't even use cruise control, because cruise control, they start relying so much on the radar and things that Tesla doesn't even have a traditional cruise control where they don't just let you hold 60 because they want it to be able to do auto braking and things. So basically by having a heater, it ensures that the radar doesn't get all gunked up with snow, which is a pretty big common problem. I know Trevor Mahlman, he's had a couple times where he has had to stop on road trips and pull over and clear the snow, living in northern climates here. And I've actually never had that experience myself, but I know it's a common problem in the north. So yeah, that's a good thing.
So Elon did have a quote on this in 2018, apparently, saying that the long term, the car will work purely on vision with radar just as a plus, but maybe worth adding a radar heater anyways. Wow. So there it is. So this isn't, unexpected. I really question this work purely on vision statement. I really, I don't know. Having redundant systems in self-driving cars seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
And so having another option besides an $8 camera to protect you from smashing into something.
Why not give the car the ability to see things that we can't?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
My biggest concern still for sure is cameras on the sides, especially those back facing on the fenders. Those tend to get blocked up, and the rear camera gets blocked up really quick in snow and salt. So those are my biggest concerns still, is how do you keep those clean? I know they had some
and how does
patents.
the car even deal with snow, right? Because snow, okay, so if it relies on vision and it's looking at the ground for, let's say, road lines, and there are none, I've driven, a couple times I've been in this condition in my life. I try to stay away from any time it's this bad, but I worked for a company based in Utah, and so we were going to retreat, whatever. And, we had an SUV, the whole team in the car, and I'm driving. And yeah, it's just completely white on the ground. There is no, I can see a guard, a concrete barrier on each side. But other than that, who the hell knows where I'm supposed to be? I'm just trying to follow the tracks of the other cars that had went before me. I mean, that seems a little bit that's going to be a challenge for cars.
I think that's actually where a car can eventually learn its place in the road outside of lines better than we can even, where it could start learning locally mailboxes, traditionally when I drive down the street, it could eventually, this is way in the future, but remember landmarks, trees, road, the mailboxes, things on the road that are in a normal place. So it could actually still know its exact position on the road, regardless of if the road is covered up or not, regardless of GPS signals covered up or not, just based on previous experience in the library of that local area. They could almost have these points that are in 3D space that can still guide the car exactly where it's supposed to go, regardless of the conditions, eventually.
But if you are driving in snow, though, you need to pay attention to those tracks and stuff, right? You can't just drive oh, this is where the lane is supposed to be, but it turns out there are giant boulders of ice in there. So I'm going to drive in there anyways.
Well, the tracks are only as good as the person that drove before you. So when it's really bad, you're looking only for curbs first. Curbs are a pretty good sign of where the road actually is and where the road exists. And then sometimes, when it's really fresh powder, you go out and drive, you're literally hoping that you can still see the curbs. After that, if you're the first one on the road, you're just hoping you're not going to run into a curb. Like that's I've been in those conditions. I've definitely been in those conditions where it's like,
yeah,
I am just I'm the first one on this road. I'm just kind of going where there's not a tree or like a house or just hoping that I'm kind of going in the right direction. And I think the car at least could use GPS along with its vision to hopefully do as good of a job someday, or better, as a human.
Yeah, it'll be curious. Has anyone done autopilot in the snow? I'd like to see that.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, but it's mostly still it's snowing, but it still sees the lines on the road. Autopilot would go away as soon as like the lines on the road are actually gone. Yeah. What were you gonna ask, Joe?
I don't know. We get snow here every once in a while. Actually, we haven't had snow here in Dallas in a few years now, but growing up we had snow, but not to the level of like you don't know if you're even on the road anymore. So everything you're saying sounds like a nightmare to me. Like I just no thanks.
Yeah, it can be although those are kind of fun. Everyone's like, I think if people have, say, earthquakes in California, always like, yeah, earthquakes, kind of fun, no big deal. And people that have hurricanes in Florida are like, yeah, hurricanes, we make hurricane cakes.
We have hurricane
tornadoes
parties
here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tornadoes, like, it's not a big deal. Just drives by and you see a tornado and you wave to it. Like, up here it's like snow and tornadoes. I'm still terrified of tornadoes. Don't give me a tornado, but snow, yeah, big snow blizzard like that, it's kind of fun. Hey, thanks for checking us out, guys. I hope you enjoyed this clip from our podcast.
We do a weekly show here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe to Our Ludicrous Future, where we discuss all the things that are going to make our future totally ludicrous.
You can join us here on YouTube or at any of your favorite podcast places. Plus, if you want to get some behind-the-scenes stuff and join a cool community, you can help support the channel at patreon.com. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.